Hello! I have 7 things to show you. 7 unique ways to use Midjourney's InPainting feature. Let's start with number 1, and I want to thank Evan Future on Discord for this tip. The first tip has to do with tiling. Now, in terms of what prompt works the best for tiling, I think anything from a top-down point of view works really well. In this case, I went with a bird's eye view of a rural video game village. I chose pixel art as the style, and then we want to include -- tile in the prompt. Now, these pictures look pretty normal, but if you were to pick one and place it side by side with itself, you would get an infinite seamless pattern, and that's the power of -- tile. But the InPainting trick comes after we upscale one of these. I think number 2 is a great place to start. Now, once you've chosen your upscale, you're going to hit the Vary Region button. You can keep the prompt the same, but the key thing to do, as you can see here, is to select everything except the outside of the image. Choose the rectangle tool and select a square, but like I said, leave a bit around the edges. And when it generates, as you'll see here, the entire grid tiles within itself. It's kind of hard for your brain to process, I'm not gonna lie. But this picture here is actually 4 different pictures. Then you can actually save this picture as if it was just one image. And what's really cool is that this tiles within itself. Like that down in the bottom right is that little corner up there in the top left, and this river in the top right connects to that river in the bottom left. That is a bit of a unique use case for InPainting, but it's pretty cool, and I'm happy to show it with you. Thanks again to Evan Future over on Discord. Here's another quick example. I asked for a top-down view of a busy mall Memphis pattern. I like this design style. Number 2 is just what I was looking for. It reminds me of like a Where's Waldo book. We hit Vary Region, select the square in the middle, and then boom, now we have this gigantic scene that actually tiles within itself. So cool. I also tried this with a food buffet, and it turned out really well. This can keep a consistent style over a much longer period of time. Basically like the perfect expansion of an image. A lot of fun. And for tip number 2, did you know that InPainting uses a slightly different algorithm? It takes a little longer to generate, and therefore it could produce better images in certain situations. But how can we take advantage of this? Well, there are 2 specific prompts I heard about from the CEO of Midjourney himself. First, he mentioned close-up portraits. So here we go. We have a close-up portrait of a woman, 1960s cottagecore, unsplash, S40. And to be honest, I thought this turned out great. I didn't have any complaints. But we hit Vary Region, and then we're actually going to select the entire frame and just hit enter. It's going to re-roll the prompt with this new algorithm. I did this a few times to test the results. Here's one of them. And you can see the pictures are already quite different, but are they that much better? I don't know. I thought these did a great job, and maybe it brings out the 1960s aspect a little bit more. Same with these, but again, I don't know how big of a difference it really made. However, the other prompt that this was recommended for was a close-up picture of the moon. So the regular Midjourney algorithm on Style Raw S40 does a pretty awful job at pictures of the moon. This honestly looks like it was version 3 or something. So we grab the upscale, select the entire image, and then we get something like these. Now 3 and 4 are awful, but 1 and 2 are way better than what we had before. So if your generations aren't coming out quite right, maybe you could try InPainting the entire picture and running it on that new algorithm. Please let me know if you find any other good use cases. Now on to tip number 3, a little bit more of a practical tip. If you want to change something inside of an image, it's best to lean towards a realistic outcome. Here's another close-up portrait of a woman, 1960s cottagecore style. And if we wanted to change the color of her eyes, rather than something like purple, we could try blue or green. Something a little more realistic. First, I'll show you that I selected her pupils exactly. And if you try this and Midjourney tells you you didn't select a large enough area, here's what you can do. Simply select an area outside of the frame. It works perfectly. Now, when it comes to something like emerald green eyes, I don't recommend deleting your prompt and including just what you're looking for, because you might end up with some really strong, weird looking eyes. Instead, I recommend you rewrite the prompt to include what you're looking for. In this case, close-up portrait of a woman with emerald green eyes. Now, I'm not really a fan of number 1 or 2, but look at 3 and 4. And I think that just comes from including what you want inside of the prompt rather than deleting the prompt and only including what you're looking for. And the same thing here with baby blue eyes. I think these turned out amazing. On to tip number 4, and this has to do with generating using an older version of Midjourney. In this case, it's version 2. Here's an alien reaching out to touch the petals of a flower. Obviously awful images, but this looked really good like 15 months ago. Time flies. Now we choose an upscale, and if we wanted to bring this image into the newest algorithm, there are a few ways we could do it. The first is by making sure remix is turned on and then hitting make variations. This is where we can change the version number to the newest 5.2. And these look okay. They're a little strange, but they look okay. Alternatively, we could hit the remaster button and we'll get something like these, which are pretty bad. So what else can we do? Well, like previously with the moon, we can select the entire area with vary by region, and that'll give us something like these. Or, I ran it again, it could give us something like these. Now, I don't know how much better these are, but I think they are different than the remix and the remaster. Just goes to show you that there is more than one way to save your old Midjourney pictures. Or possibly just generate some unique looking images with this technique. And here's another cool tip that I actually got from an audience member over on YouTube. This was from channel not found 6941. So thank you for this tip. Basically, it involves generating a person and selecting everything except their face. So here we have a woman in a garden. Inside of InPainting, you can see I have selected everything except around her face. However, I do want to make a note that maybe you should leave their hair in as well. If you don't include their hair and only their face, you'll get something like these, and I changed it to woman in a space station, and because I cut off her hair, Midjourney seemed to have a problem fitting her in the next scene. Like, look at number 4, I really don't know what to say about that. It's just funny looking. And I guess what's really cool about this is that you can change the prompt and put them into any scene you like. It'll always be the same character, the same face, unfortunately the same expression, and if you leave their hair, you might get something like these, and I think those are so beautiful. That same character in different scenes. Now, believe me, I understand that I said select around her hair, but you can kind of go somewhere in the middle, and that's what I did with these. Here's a woman at the beach, and when you only select a part of her hair, Midjourney is able to extrapolate that pretty well, giving it this kind of a windy day look at the beach. Like, these are really cool. I love her hair in number 2, number 1's great, number 4 is awesome. Same thing with a woman in a medieval war. Really cool to see that character in different scenes and looking like she fits the part. But then once you have these characters and you're not quite happy with their expression, there is a way we can change it. First off, I don't recommend selecting the entire face in InPainting. That will really change the whole character. Instead, you just want to select an area around the mouth. And then as far as the prompt goes, I suggest you turn it into a multi-prompt. So we're going to close off the first part of the prompt with 2 colons, and then we're going to include the expression we're looking for. In this case, Mona Lisa smile. I don't know the best weights to use. I went with 1.4, and here are the results. I mean, number 1 looks amazing. That's the Mona Lisa smile. The others aren't bad either. In fact, just adding smiling worked out okay as well. For the record, here's what happened when I selected the entire face. It just adds a completely new person. And be careful, if your weight is too high, like 1.8, things might get a little creepy looking. I think that can happen pretty fast if you're not careful. Let me know if you found a weight that works for you. And finally, the last tip. We're gonna start with a realistic looking scene and a realistic looking character, and then we're gonna InPaint using Niji Journey, the anime inspired algorithm. So we have our character, the portrait of a Victorian woman on a cyberpunk street at night, rainy night. Inside of InPainting, we're gonna select the entire character and we're gonna change the prompt. We're gonna add the algorithm we want. In this case, Niji 5. And I think this creates some really unique looking art. Here it is in the base Niji 5. Here it is with Style Expressive. Those are so cool. Oh, I love them all so much. Whatever that art style is, amazing. Here it is with Style Cute. Definitely a unique look. And then Style Scenic brings its own vibes. Number 3 is amazing. Now, I will say this works a little differently when you start in Niji Journey. Same prompt, portrait of a Victorian woman on a cyberpunk street, rainy night. We take her, select the entire area. Now, when we select version 5.0, these come up, and these are very, very weird looking to say the least. Some early computer graphics, it looks like. However, with 5.2, I think these turned out amazing. And now we have a pretty realistic looking woman inside of that anime scene. And I think that's a pretty difficult effect to achieve otherwise. So that's a great tip. Try and remember that one. Well, that's all the InPainting tips I have for you, but do you have any to share with me? Is there anything I don't know about? Please please let me know in the comments below. And if you're sick of your characters showing up the middle of the screen, make sure to check out this video here on how to avoid symmetry. I hope you're doing well, take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.